Hey guys, how are we? Another Thursday night, 8 p.m, and it's time for another social media marketing Q&A, or Ask Me Anything. It's Facebook Live. Let's have a bit of fun with it. So I've got a better setup tonight. I've got the iPhone stand in use, which is pretty cool. I've got some notes. So we're ready to crack into another Facebook Live. While we wait for a few people to jump on, if you are watching this on the replay or you are catching it on YouTube, please feel free to leave any comments or questions that you might have in the comments below, because even if it's not live, we'll still get the comments and we can still answer those questions. So fire away if you've got some questions. A couple of things that we'll talk about tonight. So I'm going to touch on one of the biggest issues that business owners have when it comes to using social media, leveraging social media in their business, and this goes for anybody, whether it's a small business, whether it's a medium business, whether it's a large business, whether you're an entrepreneur or a startup. There's one big issue that a lot of people have with social media. Some people still don't have the time for it. Some people just don't think it's important. Some people do think it's important and they want to use it, but they have this one issue. And other people do a great job, but they could do even better, but there's still one issue that's getting in the way a lot of the time. So we'll touch on that tonight. And I actually wrote a blog about this one particular problem not too long ago, and you can catch that on anthonygmurphy.com. I'll put all the links in the comments below as well, so you'll be able to catch those later on. And we're also going to touch on quickly just a couple of stats out of the Census social media report. This is a free report that you get online, and Census do it each year. I think they've done it for the last 5 or so years now. Really comprehensive report on social media, all Australian stats. So it's how Australian businesses leverage and use social media. So it's a really great report. Just jump online, search for Census. I'll pop a link as well to this in the comments below. So a couple of interesting stats there that I want to share later on. Cool. So I thought, first of all, we will jump straight into this one big issue that so many businesses have. And it's why I started a digital marketing business, is to help people with this number one issue that we all have around social media. And you've probably already guessed, but it's time. So the biggest issue that so many people have is just not having the time to either use social media or do it properly, or try new things that'll help grow their business. And in the particular blog post that I'm talking about, which I will link below, I spoke about a couple of different areas that can really help small business owners when it comes to their social media. And the first one is simply making it a priority. So many businesses still do not make it a priority. I mean, you think about it, sales, accounts, HR, all these different facets of a business that are a priority on a day-to-day basis, and social media needs to become one of those. Not because it is social media and it's cool to be on social media and hey, we're on Facebook, check us out. It's not about that anymore. It's really about the fact that social media is the current state of the internet. It's where we spend so many of our time, and there aren't many businesses left nowadays that don't have customers or their target audience on social media, on some social media platform, and especially not online whatsoever. So it's saying that your customers aren't on social media or it's not relevant for your business. That's really quickly becoming a very, very small issue, because there's so many people that are now online. A couple of stats that I will share just on that is from this Census report, which came out in June 2016. One of those stats is that 99% of Australians have at least one internet-enabled device. So whether that's a laptop or a computer, a phone, an iPad, 99% of Australians, at least those interviewed for the census, have a mobile device, have an internet-enabled device. So people are accessing the internet every single day. And Another stat from Census social media report is that 53% of the time that Australians are online, they're using a social media platform. So more than half the time that we spend on the internet is spent using social media. And that's because social media does everything. It's where we catch up with friends. It's where we share photos and talk with family. It's where we get our entertainment. It's where we go shopping. It's where we research things. The list is endless. There's so many opportunities that social media now provides because it is such an integrated part of the internet. Gary Vaynerchuk talks about it all the time, that it's the current state of the internet. Social media is just a slang term. It's just what we call those social platforms. We call it social media. Really, it's the current state of the internet. So it's really, really important to try and make that mind shift in your business to make social media a priority because of the opportunities and the leverage and the attention it can gain, the things that it can do for your business when it's aligned with your business objectives and goals and there's a proper strategy in place. When all those things are ironed out and worked out really well, then social media can do so many wonderful things for your business. So that's number one, make it a priority. Try and make that shift to really make social media a priority within your business, and that'll allow you to schedule time for it. The second point that I mentioned in this blog was that it's a really important thing to document what you're doing and not try and create content for social media. So instead of simply trying to come up with a great idea for a blog post or come up with a great idea for a Facebook Live or come up with what you think people will like to click on Instagram and hit that like button, instead of trying to create content that you think people will like, try and document your journey instead of creating something that you think people will like. So it really is about storytelling. The best content comes when people are telling a story. Everybody is unique. Every business is unique. Everything that we do in our daily lives is unique to you. And if you can tell a story around that and document your journey, document your business journey, then that's where the real power comes from. And you don't have to spend hours on hours trying to create and come up with great ideas for content. People are interested in you. We're all about looking over the fence, seeing what the other person is doing. It's just human nature. So giving people access to you, giving access to behind the scenes, what's happening in your business, is a great place to start when trying to find content, a great type of content for social media and for your business. So document, don't create. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is to find and get more time to make social media a priority in your business is to leverage the different functions that the different platforms provide. Now, so Facebook, for instance, Facebook live streaming is a great way to get content out. Basically, having Facebook Live is like having your own TV station. It's literally your media communication. You are a media company. So you can document your story. You can jump on Facebook Live if you have a promotion or a product or a release or something that you want to showcase to the world. Then you can use Facebook Live just like you can having a commercial on TV or having a spot on the radio. You've got that ability right here in the palm of your hand. So don't forget that. Another thing is Instagram stories and Snapchat stories. Having that stories function and feature on the platforms, which if you're not familiar with it, it's where you can take 10-second clips of video, either of yourself or documenting your journey, whatever you're doing during the day. You simply hold down the button on your phone and it records a 10-second clip, and that gets added to your story. So people can see those and watch those for 24 hours before they disappear. And that's a really, really time-efficient way of documenting content, because all you have to do is point and shoot and the rest's done. You don't have to edit, you don't have to plan, you don't have to do all that other time-consuming stuff. You don't have to post, it does it automatically for you. So you don't have to do all that time-consuming stuff. It's really, really simple. So things like live streaming, things like creating stories and using Snapchat and uploading pictures from your phone to your Pinterest or whichever platform you might be using. Just think about the ways it can be really smart in the way that you document your content, as opposed to creating video where you're filming on a DSLR camera, which you then have to download to a computer and edit and add audio and finish it off, upload it to Facebook, upload it to YouTube. That sort of thing can take a lot of time and effort, especially if it's not something you're used to. So a great way, a great time-saving tip is to use the platform's functions like stories, like live streaming, to create really quick video and get it up onto that platform straight away. The next point in that time saving for business owners wanting to leverage social media is automation. Now, automation can be a bit of a dicey topic when it comes to social media. The best social media is authentic social media. The best type of content is authentic content. So when it comes to automation, a lot of people abuse the system, and they will use automation to just pump out content after content, tweet after tweet, blog post after blog post, and it basically just becomes spam. You're just spamming people because you've just got this automation funnel just throwing out stuff willy-nilly. There's no structure to it. There's no strategy. There's no thought and care put into it. And that really is just abusing the system, and you're just not doing anybody a favor if you're using automation in that way. Automation is really useful for helping you to repost previous content that you've posted, like blog posts, like videos, that really good quality content that you've created, which has been posted in the past, but you don't want it to just die out because you posted it last week and people aren't seeing it in their newsfeed anymore. Using automation tools like Hootsuite or MeetEdgar allows you to schedule another time, whether it be a week from the time you post, and then a month from the time you post, and then 2 months after that. It allows you to schedule that content so that you can share it again later on down the track automatically. You don't have to worry about doing it yourself. You set it up, the time frame that you want, and then it will post it for you. Using automation in that way is a great way for small businesses and entrepreneurs, startups, for anybody who want to have a steady, consistent stream of content, as long as you're making sure that it is good quality content, that you're being authentic with it, and you're not just out there spamming people and filling up people's news feeds. Because at the end of the day, it just annoys people and it has negative effects on your brand. So automation, great tool when used correctly. And the last point that I had in that blog was to get help. If you're struggling, not having the time that you want to make social media a priority, to document your journey, to leverage social media platforms, to get more leads and sales into your business, then get some help. Whether that is using things like automation, or talking to digital marketers, having somebody come and consult, or getting advice from somebody, or even outsourcing things like your social media management, like your content curation, like your scheduling, all that back-end stuff, Facebook advertising. You can have somebody help you with that in your business, whether that be AM Digital, my company, or another company that you know and trust. Outsourcing time-consuming back-end stuff like that, which a lot of people struggle with, is a great option as well. And if you find a really trustworthy person who knows what they're doing and is doing a great job, then that can be a real big benefit to your business, because you can focus on documenting your journey, documenting that content, writing blog posts, whatever it might be, and then have somebody else doing the background work, scheduling content, curating it, making sure that it's hitting all the right targets. So those are the top tips that I had in that blog post for how small business owners in general, can save time, find the time for social media. So we'll just run through them really quickly again. Number one was to prioritize social media. So you've got to make it a priority. If you don't make it a priority, you're always going to struggle with it. Document, don't create. So document your journey, be authentic, and don't try and create content that you think people will like. Number 3 was to leverage the platform's functions, whether it be Facebook Live, whether it be Instagram Stories, whether it's automatic uploads to a platform, just really quick and simple stuff. Number 4 was automation. So use automation wisely, have a bit of a strategy behind there, make sure it's providing value for your customers, your target audience, clients. And the last point, number 5, was to get help where you need it. You don't have to do it all on your own. Some people know a lot about social media. Some people don't know anything about social media, and that is completely okay. You can ask for help. You can get help. There is nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm not too sure about this. Can somebody please help me? Because at the end of the day, if you spend a lot of time doing something that you don't know a lot about, you can be wasting your time. And that's just with everything. If you don't know how to run a business and you try and do it all yourself, then you're going to have a tough time. If you don't know how to bake a cake and you try and make one, it's probably not going to work the first time, or the second time, who knows. But don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to put your hand up and say, hey, I need some help, even if it is just to get a bit of advice or get somebody's feedback on something. So there we go, guys. That is almost a wrap for this week. How to find time for social media. There are a number of really, really awesome stats that are in this Census social media report. And one of them that I'm going to finish on tonight is that only 48%, I hope you can see that there, but 48% of small businesses have a social media presence. So less than half of all Australian small businesses, as of June 2016, have a social media presence. That's a good thing for you. Why? Because you have the opportunity to land grab. There is so much more, the competition, there's only half the amount of competition that there could be. Less than half small businesses are using social media in Australia. So that means you have more opportunity to get noticed, you have more opportunity to gain people's attention, you have more opportunity to leverage and get leads and sales, because if you're in a town where there is 10 hairdressers, then theoretically there's only 5 of those using social media. So you have so much opportunity to land grab and leverage social media if you act now. So again, goes back to making it a priority. Make sure you make it a priority, and good things will happen with social media. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Really, really appreciate it. As always, if you've got any questions on tonight whatsoever, please leave those comments below. And if you think there is anything that we spoke about tonight that people would find valuable, whether it's a mate, whether it's your dad, whether it's your mum, whoever runs a business, if you think there's anything in here that could provide them value whatsoever, it would mean a lot for me if you were to share it with them. That would be absolutely awesome. Guys, thanks very much for watching. I'm going to let you get back to what's on TV tonight. I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. You can catch it on the replay if you've been watching this. So really appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and we will catch you back here next week. Bye for now.